Welcome to episode 8 of Cryptenomics. 8 now, wow.
Yeah.
Today we'll be chatting about just more coins. You know, we're going to be talking about Cardano, Expanse, people asking about Tether and other coins, and we'll just be chatting.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite part of the day / week when we can just have a beer, relax, and cheers.
Cheers. So I think people would appreciate hearing a story from you that happened to you earlier this week.
The LinkedIn thing?
Yeah, a message you got on LinkedIn.
Yeah, so before we get into the crypto, we'll just hang out for a sec.
Wow.
Just spilled that all over yourself. That's
Yeah,
funny.
damn.
So yeah, earlier this week, this dude messages me on LinkedIn. I won't say his name. I'll say his first name, Igor. And he's been sending mass messages on LinkedIn. You know, classic ones like, have you been watching the market? You know, click here. Like, he's just trying to get his name out there. Anyways, he sent one mass message, and it's like very formal. It says like, Michael, you know, the bull market is coming, it looks like, blah, blah, blah. Very formal type message. And then at the end, it says, I love you, Igor. And it's like it doesn't say love Igor. It's like, I love you, Igor. Like, and I don't know. It had me like really, really laughing.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely.
He must have noticed after he sent that. He's like, "Oh shit!" I just said, "I love you" to everyone.
I don't know if he realized. You know, to be honest, it seemed like it may have been his second language or third language, and I'm not sure he realized exactly what it is he said. It was
yeah, put some beer in your beard.
But
yeah, no, I mean, Igor, if you're watching, I totally understand. We all make mistakes. You're forgiven. But it gave me a good laugh, for sure. So, as you know, the market's been looking good lately. I don't know, my portfolio has been finally seeing life. Definitely been hodling for...
We've been hodling for a while. We've been holding for a while.
And when I still will hodl, but I like to hodl and watch it rise instead of go down. So,
don't we all?
So in light of that, people have been asking us more about some different coins that we can chat about, some coins that we like and some that we don't like. A controversial one that people just asked us to explain, I don't really have much of an opinion on it, is Tether. So a lot of people just don't know what Tether is. There's also US dollar Tether, there's Euro Tether, all that Tether really is an organization that releases a token, crypto, whatever you want to call it, a coin that represents $1. And it's literally backed in a bank somewhere, whatever institution is deploying Tether, in a bank somewhere that is backed by $1 or €1, whatever.
And there have been audits.
There's a lot of controversy. I'm not sure how to feel about it yet. I have fooled around with Tether in terms of speculating on price when I trade, but I'm not sure about the politics behind it. What I do know is that of any formal audits that have happened, they've been proven to be backed by a real dollar. So if there's 1 million Tether on Bitfinex, there's $1 million somewhere else. The reason that's important is because, you know, an exchange can deploy 1 million Tether and it can mess with margin, lending rates, it could increase volume and cause a pump based off of something that doesn't exist. And then if people ultimately want to cash out or sell, like there's fake money floating around and it doesn't work out. So that's what USDT is. It's simply a coin that's pegged to $1 and represents $1. Some upsides is that exchanges don't need to regulate as closely with regulators. With, you know, incorporating actual fiat currencies, they can now have Tether. And also, I'm sure there's some sort of tax implication about being able to trade with something that represents $1, so you get the same kind of gain or loss if you're trading, but you're not actually touching fiat. So that's what Tether is. I think it's a good idea. Ultimately, I think it's helped the industry.
Yeah, it is a good idea.
Positive.
The particular organization behind it has had some issues, but the idea is definitely a good one. I think that all the FUD and the issues with it that people have are really come back to the organization itself and how that's run and some of the problems that they've had. You know, there was a hack back in November.
Yeah.
31 million Tether stolen. So it hasn't been the smoothest path, but I agree. I think the idea is a good one.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, for everyone out there who's Tether gets a lot of hate on all these Facebook forums. For everyone who's so against Tether, That should be the least of your worries. You should be more worried about the shitcoin that you bought last week or the ICO that you invested in. Those are more speculative. Tether is going to be there and it's going to be worth $1. And unless you're really trading like $10 million plus or a lot of money on an exchange, you don't have anything to worry about. Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's my honest opinion. Like, everyone should just chill out with that. Yeah. In the recent markets, some coins have been doing well and some coins have not been doing as well. I think one of those coins that we can chat about is Expanse.
Yep.
I like the team behind Expanse, but I'm a little disappointed with the business direction and price action that they've been resulting with.
Yeah. And some of their marketing efforts have been a bit weak.
Bit weak, yeah. Right now they're trying to advertise like streaming coins, which is really nothing as far as I know. But I do like the team behind it. Now, generally, and you know this, a business, a project, the idea is bigger than the sum of the parts. So while right now my sentiment on Expanse is a bit low, that doesn't mean that I discredit the team behind it. I really do think that they mean well and are skilled.
Yeah, no, they're definitely
the two founders
smart.
Was Chris, right?
Chris Franco and James Clayton.
Right.
And yeah, they're definitely both smart guys, capable. They've got, many projects under their belt as far as I know. Chris is the chief developer and the CEO, and James is kind of more of like a biz dev kind of.
Yeah, and Chris is the founder of
level.
the big Facebook groups, the Cryptocurrency Club for beginners and the regular one, which has an aggregate.
Do you say Chris or James?
James.
Yeah, James.
Yeah, James is the co-founder of the big social media groups, Cryptocurrency Club for beginners, and then they have one that's not for beginners. I'm sure there's a lot of overlap, but if you add up the amount of people that claim to be in the group, it's like over 100,000 people, which is pretty big. And when they first released Expanse, I remember like 2-ish years ago, they instantly got a very loyal following. And the expectations, I guess, were set a little high. I'm not sure if they're unfairly high or not, but from having that like cult-like following, the expectations were high. And they worked on some cool efforts. They tried to work on an Expanse bond system.
Yep.
Actually, early on, James asked me for help. I didn't have the bandwidth at the time to assist with speccing out the bond system, but I'm glad that they found someone else to help them and move forward with it. It could be seen as a cash grab. It could be seen as a manipulative ploy to get people to lock up their Expanse and not trade it just to increase the price. But at the same time, I think that people want to see dividends and get paid out outside of just proof of stake.
Yeah, definitely. I think it adds a little bit more depth to cryptocurrency as like a financial instrument. And Expanse has a pretty low circulating supply right now, just shy of 8 million Expanse.
Yeah.
So, and the total supply is just over double that.
And the market cap is low, right? What is it?
The market cap is just shy of 20 million, 17.5 million.
So yeah, I mean, the unfortunate part with Expanse. So what is Expanse? They were originally a clean hard fork of Ethereum. That was the goal they were going off of. So all these scam ICOs that one day might dump and crash the price of Ethereum and clog up the network, they're hoping to avoid all of that and also, account for any scalability issues or any issues that Ethereum ran into that they can fix. They haven't had many ICOs launched on it. They had one called Token Lab.
So that's an internal
one that they released.
Yeah, so that's basically an ICO that lets people create their own tokens, ICOs,
easily launch it on the platform.
So, and I think that's out now. That's live, right?
Yeah, that's live. They're trying to get it on exchanges. I know they're trying to get Expanse on exchanges, but if you look at Chris Franco's Twitter and other posts that they've been having a hard time, I guess, a difficult time negotiating with the different exchanges. I know that some of these exchanges they'll request $500,000 to $1 million to get listed on an exchange.
Yeah,
which is
a lot of money.
Wild.
It's a lot of money.
But that's the name of the game right now. Whether or not I agree with it or they agree with it. So I think they're on Poloniex right now and Bittrex. But they're not on Binance. They're trying to get there. Hit BTC. They're trying to get there, I believe. But while they launched 2 years ago, their idea was really unique, or not unique, but it was one of the first ones. But now there's a lot of Ethereum competitors out there.
Yeah.
Right. There's Pearl, which is a smaller cap coin which is on Cryptopia. That I personally know some very skilled miners in the industry and some very skilled traders who are invested at both a mining level and just straight trading level with Pearl. And then there's obviously Cardano, Neo, Lisk, and other ones. So, in my opinion, overall right now, I personally was looking to exit Expanse, and I did pretty recently. I just think that I've been holding Expanse for around 2 years now, and I still support the team, and I wish them the best of luck, but sort of there's an opportunity cost that we've spoken about associated with investments.
Sure.
And the cost of me holding Expanse and watching these other projects skyrocket has really just not been worth it.
Yeah,
the
no, that makes sense.
Is much bigger elsewhere.
In contrast, I am still holding my Expanse. I haven't quite found the right opportunity to get out yet, but I generally share your
What's
sentiment.
That now, like 23,000 Satoshi?
25-ish last time I saw. I mean, let me check. I just had it open.
I think it's like 23 now.
24/7.
Okay, guess we're right. Yeah, so if it goes up, are you looking to exit or?
I am looking to exit, but I'm looking for the right opportunity.
And I hate
think
to say it too, when we were talking about a cult-like mentality and being loyal, is that so James Clayton recently left the Expanse project.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were allowed to say that, to be honest.
It's fine. He did leave. He publicly left.
Yeah, he announced it, but
no, dude, we can say whatever we want, dude. No, but no
he
rules.
Left.
He left, and honestly, when the face of a company leaves, it creates a ripple effect.
Yeah, for sure.
And I like James a lot. I've spoken with him, and I want to, I'm curious to see what he does next.
Yeah, he's starting a competing podcast.
Is he?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Interesting. What's it called? Do you know?
Like Crypto Puerto Rico, or he's moving to Puerto Rico, and it's going to be all about his life and crypto and Puerto Rico.
Very cool. So yeah, I'm interested to watch that.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting.
So that's Expanse. That's our view on it. You can look it up. We'll link all these coins in the description. But that's a quick background of Expanse. Two good founders, unfortunate business direction, and overall sentiment over time has been dropping off. I guess one of their big competitors we could talk about would be Cardano, which is another coin that's sort of pushing them and all these other competitors out of the spotlight because Cardano is now in the spotlight as a top, 10, 20 currency? Let me check CoinMarketCap real quick. Cardano. What don't you know? Oh, Cardano's number 7.
Yep.
It's pretty within the top 10, so it's
7.1.
It's definitely in the
$1 billion
limelight.
market cap.
Definitely in the limelight. Founded by what was his name? Charles. What was it?
Charles Hoskinson.
Hoskinson, who was originally he's an OG guy, co-founder of BitShares and Ethereum, which is pretty huge. So you know that he knows his shit. I know you're looking into Cardano lately.
Yeah. He's an incredibly smart dude. I've watched a couple of videos. I think I showed you bits of one, and it's a lot of it honestly goes over my head even. But listening to him talk, his passion, he definitely seems like the right guy for this job.
Yes, especially with the stuffed animals in the background. You saw that
I didn't want to go there, but I mean,
it's okay.
It looks like he lives in.
No, it gives me confidence in them.
Yeah, I think he's still living in his mother's basement.
We spoke about this. If Vitalik was jacked, I'd be like, dude, why are you at the gym? You got to focus on Ethereum. I want it to be scrawny and sickly, and it really, it's a good thing.
So you're not in support of the Fit Vitalik movement?
I guess I am because I want him to live.
I know we need him.
Yeah.
Think about what happened if something happened to Vitalik. Think the effect on the.
Yeah, I guess I would go into VR or something. I guess I'd be like crypto. So okay. Yeah.
AI.
Yeah. Yeah, Cardano though is getting a lot of support for good reason. Ethereum and sometimes the first to market isn't always the winner. I like Ethereum because they do have a great team and a huge name, but there have been a lot of issues with it, as expected. But that's the reality of it. There have been a lot of issues. Mm-hmm. Cardano was created by a blockchain firm, more of like a working group called Input Output, I believe, and the comparison that people make between Ethereum and Cardano is that Ethereum was made by a bunch of tech geniuses, very pragmatic tech geniuses. Clearly, they can create something great like the Ethereum chain, but Cardano was actually, created based off of case studies and different research and observing Ethereum and different theories, which can help with scalability and deploying ICOs and deploying different decentralized projects and the security of these smart contracts.
Yeah.
They're saying that, people can now, it could support most programming languages like C++ and JavaScript through its compiler, which is pretty awesome.
That is.
Rather than just using Solidity or something. And I don't know anything about Solidity. I think you've looked at it a little more than me.
Yeah. There are implementations in like Python and other languages, so it's definitely becoming more accessible.
Solidity?
Yeah.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Cardano was made by another one called Haskell, which I don't know much about.
Yeah, that's another language.
But people say that it's more robust than Solidity and more just widely used and trusted.
Definitely.
So it's interesting. I've been watching Cardano. They've had great price action. I remember in November when they were, or October maybe, they were like 300 Satoshi. Now it's at like 3,000.
Yeah, we have a friend
Satoshi.
who, got fresh into crypto, was scanning, markets and just like picked Cardano as like,
yeah, it was a good
out of
start
nowhere.
for him.
Yeah, it was a great start for him.
Yeah, because he was so anxious. Like, yo, I bought this coin Cardano. I don't know anything about it, but like the founder seems legit, like he's from Ethereum, so I bought some. I was like, yeah, it's probably good. See how it goes. And he 10x in terms of Bitcoin. So he was really Xing in terms of US dollar. So good for him and all the other early Cardano buyers. But it's still trading at around 20-ish cents now, I believe. And I think that that's a decent price. You can't. The crazy thing about crypto is just because something 10x's in its early time doesn't mean that it can't still 50x when it hits mainstream. Because if you look at Ethereum, there was a time where Ethereum went from 20 cents to $20 even, and when it hit $20, people are like, no way. That was me, right? I was like, no, it's got to go back down because I got in early at like $1-ish, and then I sold at like 10ish, and then I was like, no. 15, 20, no, it's going to go down. 25, it's got to go back to 13. When it was $50, I was like, all right, I guess it's time to get back in, which is still a good move looking back. But,
Yeah.
But it goes to show you that you shouldn't let gains this early on stop you from getting in on a coin and overweighting too much. If it's really a project like Cardano, in my opinion. They have 2 ICOs, I believe, on Cardano right now. One is called Traxia, which I don't know too much about, but there's some sort of, they call themselves a trading financial solution. And it looks like they're trying to let users trade invoices and more random nominal financial statements on the blockchain. They raised about $1 million, I believe. And then there's another one called Spade, SP8DE, which is a gambling betting site. They've already reached their hard cap. They raised 4,000 Ethereum, and they are trading actually on Ether Delta. So Traxia, Spade, those are 2 ICOs on Cardano, potentially worth watching because that will affect Cardano itself and the ADA currency that powers it. So yeah, I think it's interesting to watch. I like Cardano a lot. And I think that Expanse should not give up and keep going, but they should use Cardano and these other projects and analyze why they're gaining a lot of traction. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it seems Cardano has taken a slightly unique approach in the amount of research and science that they're kind of backing their decisions up with. I think.
Yeah, that's why they have so much trust.
Yeah, it seems like some of the other projects, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but are kind of throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks. Some of it's going to work, some of it isn't. But if you take a really scientific approach and you go through a rigorous process of testing your hypothesis, then the result is definitely going to be a lot better the first time.
Side note, did you see today, 3 hours ago, Kanye West tweeted decentralize. Just one word, decentralize. And has so many retweets now and like crypto people. Do it, Kanye, do the Bitcoin tweet. Everyone's tweeting it right now. It's interesting. It's interesting. Now, meanwhile, it's worth noting, this just makes me think of this, it's worth noting that there was a Coinye coin years ago. It was a little goldfish with like a Kanye, and he actually like sent him a cease and desist or something. So who knows? Maybe he's not a crypto lover, but maybe now he wasn't a crypto lover, but maybe now he's turning around. But he didn't say crypto; he just said decentralized. And
I think he's still just bitter about the fish sticks.
Yeah, Kanye's kind of a crackhead. I don't know what he means by that. I'm not going to overanalyze it, but clearly crypto people liked it. CoinDesk even tweeted, "Bitcoin tweet incoming by @Kanye West." Wow, everyone is. Carlos Matos, what am I going to do? All these. Anyways, now I'm going down a rabbit hole. Twitter. Other coins. Expands Cardano. No, I think that's good on Cardano. I think people can look into it now after that, but I think as long as they know about Charles, how he's been involved from BitShores and Ethereum in the background, how it was built off of Input-Output, which is a blockchain building firm based off case studies.
Yeah.
They got the 2 ICOs, Traxia and Spade, and you can all make your own decisions at home. I hope you make money, and if you don't, I don't feel that bad because I've lost a lot of money, and that's how you got to learn. So good luck.
Yeah, that's your education right there.
So good luck, yeah. Some other coins. Litecoin. I think everyone knows Litecoin.
Everyone knows Litecoin. Yeah. But people continue to, when's Litecoin going to pump? When's Litecoin going to pump?
Because it's the cheapest. People go on Coinbase and they're like, oh, 150, I want to buy that coin because it's the cheapest one.
When's it going to pump?
Yeah, so I think it's good. Overall, Charlie Lee is a questionable founder. He fuds a lot. Not only did he sell his freaking stash, but
we've talked about that. Like that could be for legitimate tax purposes. He may, have just been advised that he was going to come due.
You don't have to announce it.
It's true. I agree. He may not have gone about it in the best way, but there could be legitimate reasons for dumping like a huge chunk of when you're holding bags that heavy, you could come due on like a tax bill that's just like ridiculous, and it's just more of a headache than it's worth dealing with. But we don't know that, so that's just speculation.
Then around that same time, though, I remember him saying like, "Oh, and also like this is when Bitcoin was pumping a lot." He's like, "Oh, also don't get discouraged if Litecoin goes back to $20 for 2 years and we're in a bear market." And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why do you even have to speculate? Talk about Litecoin. Talk about the technology and the projects. Like, get your ass off the price action. It's really annoying. Overall, I like Litecoin. I think that it's here to stay because it's known as a great test bed for Bitcoin. So, like, things like Segwit was originally deployed on Litecoin in that ecosystem and then saw that it worked well and it was great and the price went up and people loved it and the transactions were faster and the fees were less. Then it went on Bitcoin. And it worked out well. So even if Litecoin is this light version of Bitcoin, which makes sense, I'm fine with that.
So I think that's spot on though. Like I think that its place is firmly in the shadow of Bitcoin though. Like I don't think it succeeds as a replacement. I don't think that's its future. I think its best future is being the quicker network for smaller transactions that people can use on a maybe more day-to-day basis.
It doesn't have to be the gold standard like Bitcoin.
Exactly.
This brick wall.
But also, serving as an early adopter for new technologies, innovations on the blockchain and crypto. So I think that's definitely its future. People saying that, I hope, Litecoin, becomes the number one, I think are missing the bigger picture.
Yeah. But I like it. I think it's still here to stay. But I'm not necessarily as bullish on it in terms of gains as like Cardano, for example. That's just me personally.
Yeah, I think that I think it's going to go up, but obviously, I think it's not going to 50x. Who knows? But I don't think it's going to 50x in the immediate future. The way some smaller cap coins have the potential to.
Another side note: I was at the bank the other day, and like they were going through different savings accounts. And they were like, "Oh, well, this one has like a 0.15% return. Like, isn't that great?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm trying to 50x on Cardano right now. I don't know what you're talking about." But it's just like crypto has really spoiled me after leaving. Like,
it spoiled all of us.
Yeah, it's bad. When we talk in terms of X's and not like within 100%, it's pretty bad.
When you like scoff at like 20% gains. And
20% gains.
20% gains.
Jokes.
I want 150% gains.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny. Let's see. What else is there? We have notes here. Stellar's been getting a lot of attention, even on Bloomberg and like CNBC Crypto. Now they're starting to shill some shitcoins, dude. CNBC is getting in on the game.
Yeah.
And
So I've got to say, like, I wasn't very familiar with Stellar. I went down a rabbit hole the other night researching Stellar. Really, their founder, Jed McCaleb, that dude he's been
around the block.
He's been around the block, but also, like, building on that, he's been around the block on some questionable shit, in my opinion. So
the Gox.
Well, he started founder of eDonkey. I think that's what it was.
I don't even know that.
So, yeah, eDonkey, and that was a peer-to-peer file sharing application in the early thousands, and that got shut down. Paid like $30 million in fines or whatever. It was like the early LimeWire, Napster, Kazaa, all of that. So that's where he started, and then Mt. Gox.
Right.
So he started Mt. Gox, and I didn't even know this. I got started in crypto a little bit after Mt. Gox, the whole fiasco. But I didn't know this. Mt. Gox was originally a Magic the Gathering online exchange. That's what it stands for. So that blew my mind. I'm not currently a Magic the Gathering player, but way back in the day, I was all about that. So that was pretty cool. I did not know that. And then he turned Mt. Gox from that Magic the Gathering online exchange into a what we know Mt. Gox as. And he did do that, and he sold it to the French dude, Mark Karpeles, in 2011, I believe. So he ran the cryptocurrency exchange for like 5 years or so, 4 or 5 years, something like that.
So he did?
He did, yeah.
With Karpeles?
No.
Oh,
gotcha, he sold it to Karpeles in 2011.
Yeah.
And he was done. Basically, he said that it was just taking up too much of his time, and he wanted to pass the torch. So, maybe he had no part in, what went down there. But then he goes on to be the CTO at Ripple. And
yes, that I knew. That much I know.
I didn't know that. I mean, so this is all new to me. This guy's been around, and I can't say, again, he may have no part in the Mt. Gox issues, but eDonkey wasn't exactly...
kosher,
exactly. And I'm no fan of Ripple. So I also found out that Stellar is a Ripple fork, which I didn't know.
Yes. But I believe it's ran differently, like the operations.
So it was originally like a straight Ripple fork. And then in 2015, I think, there was a major rewrite. All new code was released, and this is their words. And yeah, it's a payment network, much like Ripple.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've used Stellar. Man, that beer. I've used Stellar in the sense like that I've just moved it around, and it is extremely fast. And but I am a little skeptical on the price. But CNBC Crypto and these big boys have been chilling it. So let me just see how many coins are in circulation for Stellar real quick. Actually, not that bad. 18.5 million circulating supply with 103 million
That's
total
billion.
supply. Billion supply. So it is a lot. That's a lot. It's at 35 cents. Is it meant to be a $10 coin? In my opinion, probably not. But it's hit a higher price than it is now, and there's much more liquidity to flow into crypto.
Yeah.
Side note from Stellar, in terms of liquidity into crypto, I read that about 20% of hedge funds out there and traders right now working at banks are looking into getting into crypto in one way or another. If that actually happens, then it's very possible that Stellar can pump to... little break there for a sec. So yeah, I heard that about 20% of these guys want to start going into crypto, and if all that liquidity goes in, then the price of Stellar can definitely, shoot past what it was in the past, even if it's a frothy pump.
Frothy.
Yeah. So let's see here. Any other coins you want to go over? Anything else on our minds? Oh, they have a partnership with IBM.
Yeah, they do. I wasn't able to find too much info on that.
Yeah,
but
it might just be like a Tron partnership.
It was a partnership with IBM and a third party that I wasn't familiar with. IBM is like rolling out some kind of payment network solution and with another company, and Stellar's involved, powering that basically.
Interesting.
So there's something there. IBM's involved. It's not clear if they're like if they're sponsoring it or what the deal is, but
Probably BS, but yeah.
and then they do have a bunch of other partnerships with organizations in like developing nations and third world countries. So I do think that one of the biggest applications for crypto is in those developing nations and third worlds where
Banking the unbanked.
yeah, banking the unbanked. And there was an argument on Twitter the other day where someone was trying to make the case that the people who aren't banked, they don't want to be banked, and it was a stupid argument. But I think ultimately
They definitely want to be banked.
well,
Well, it depends where.
yeah. So obviously they don't want to be taken advantage of, which may be their perception of traditional banking. But the reality is that the ability to easily move money around, transfer money, to their neighbor or to the guy, across the country, across the world, is of huge value. So providing that to those kinds of people, there's definitely a value to them in that. And I think that they will definitely come around to see that if presented in the right way, and if it isn't taking advantage of them, because their whole world right now is just being like taken advantage of from one avenue or another. Everyone's piling it on basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's stellar. So
I'm not, for some reason, I'm not that bullish on Stellar. So many people are, but I just don't see, like, why would I use Stellar over Litecoin? And also that partnership with IBM I'm questioning. I mean, every time I see a partnership in crypto, I question it. I swear to God, one day I'm ready to see a crypto say something silly like, we partnered with Bitcoin. What do you mean? Oh, I just mean you could trade us for Bitcoin on Bittrex. Oh, okay, great partnership. Like, yeah. No.
We partner with Apple. Oh, we have a Mac OS wallet.
Yeah. Oh no, we program our things on
oh yeah,
on Apple computers. Yeah. I think those are a good amount of coins right now for people to look at. Some of them are big, but I think that there's a lot of newer, uneducated people. Even people who are in the space, I think there's so many coins to keep up with that even the big ones they miss.
Yeah.
So
there are a lot of coins.
Yeah. So I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah, I think that covers everything for today.
Yeah. Cool. Let's end this. Have a couple more beers, maybe Alf camera, hang out. So catch you next time, guys.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks.